Alright, so welcome back to Jim Bob's Garden. So, we had a hurricane go by, Isaias or something like that, and it was a few days ago. Didn't really do anything to us. It pretty much passed us by, very minor winds and really no rain. But then like the day after that, we had a thunderstorm come through with some pretty good winds and a bunch of rain, and guess what it did? It knocked down my trellis. So I'm going to call this one Shit Happens. Alright, that's going to be the title of this video, because I'm going to tell you what, anytime you're growing a garden or for any, doing anything in life, shit's going to happen. That's just the way things are. Murphy will get involved and eventually will throw a wrench into the works and cause you issues, and so you got to adapt, overcome, and figure out how to fix it. So that's what we're going to do today. So my plan is on this one, because obviously if you take a look over here, well, first off, I've already started putting up a small support. If you look down here, you can kind of see that basically the wood has rotted through. Alright, now this is one of the junk trees that I had cut, and I had the poles, so I went ahead and stuck them in the ground. And I really thought that it would last longer than my pine, but actually the pine over here has lasted slightly better. Alright, the pine logs are still semi-solid, at least. I don't want to push on them too much. So, but anyway, so now I got to figure out how to put it back up. So my plan is to basically stand it back up, and for now I'm going to attach this as a support to the sides and hopefully get it to stand in place long enough to grow some beans on until I get a chance to redo it this coming year. So with that being said, let me get my hammer and a nail. I'm going to stand this bad boy up. Back somewhat into position. Close to where it belongs. Hopefully I'll be able to do this with one hand. Let's see. Nope, that is not working now. Alright, so, well, I tried going the one way. I thought I could save the poles, but let me show you here. My poles are completely rotted through, which is interesting because I really thought that my pine was going to rot through first. This is a junk tree here. I think it's might be a maple. I have to look into that and find out. But it did not last very long at all. This is about a year and a half, not even 2 years. So probably not the way to go as far as trying to use that for supports. So I had some 1x2 strips laying around anyway, so I went ahead and I basically chopped them down to make a point on them and rammed them into the ground and put it up. The bigger reason that I'm trying to show you this, alright, is not because I want you to see, ooh, how fantastic my trellises are, because there are way better ways to make a trellis. So much as to tell you that, alright, shit's going to happen. You're going to have things happen that you didn't plan for, that you didn't expect, anytime you do anything. Particularly when you're growing a garden. Bugs are going to come in, you're like, man, I didn't have these bugs last year. And it's just like life. You can sit around and whine about it. You can make excuses. Like the shirt says, I got a million of them. You want to hear an excuse why my beans didn't grow, or the trellis got knocked over, I had cats and dogs living in sin, it's the end of the world as we know it. But the bottom line is, alright, you have to recover from these things. Just like coronavirus and everything else, we got to get through it. Alright, so guess what I'm trying to tell you? Shit's going to happen. And when it does, it's your response to that shit that makes a difference on who you are. Alright, you can either respond by giving up, saying, well, I guess I failed, I quit, no more garden for me. Or you get your shit together, you shake it off, alright, and you step forward and try and do something about it. Hopefully we got this going on. If it falls back down again, guess what? I'll figure out another way, and we'll keep on plugging. All right, I am not a green thumb. I am not a master gardener, but I am persistent, and I'm going to win, and we are going to get food out of my garden. So, once again, thanks for stopping by. Remember, no matter what you do, shit's going to happen. All right? So grow something. Like, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and come back and see me.